Unfortunately, we appear to have a massive, secret, and likely very harmful, unfair trade deal on our hands. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the TPP for short, is a NAFTA-style agreement between the U.S. and 11 other nations that has been largely negotiated in secret and seems to not just repeat, but perhaps worsen the mistakes made in the past.
The agreement will create binding policies on future Congresses in numerous areas, to include those that are related to labor, patent and copyright, land use, food, agriculture and product standards, natural resources, the environment, state-owned enterprises, and government procurement policies, as well as financial, healthcare, energy, telecommunications, and other service sector regulations. This is a treaty that goes beyond tariffs. The scope is, as I've outlined, it is unbelievable. And we also know that the lack of transparency on this treaty is unbelievable. It's interesting to note that industry has had great access to the process and what's going on. Members of Congress, both sides of the aisle, have not had that same access to the information in this trade agreement. And it is our constitutional authority as members of Congress to approve trade agreements. We cannot be frozen out any longer. We're not going to tolerate that. The 20th century fast track and its lack of any meaningful input from Congress in the formative stages of an agreement is not appropriate for the 21st century trade agreements like the Trans-Pacific Partnership. More fast track is a non-starter.
Representative DeLauro and myself, who've been following this issue, we don't even know exactly what is being negotiated in this agreement. So we have a lot of questions, and we have very few answers. Does the agreement do anything to tackle currency manipulation? We don't know. Does it include enforceable environmental and labor standards? We don't know. And how much does it deal with the blatantly non-trade items, from food safety to financial regulations to internet freedom? Once again, the answer is we don't know.
The leaked text that U.S. trade negotiations are proposing an unbalanced intellectual property provision that are going to hinder our trading partners' access to safe and more affordable drugs. Incredibly, even as the administration is proposing to lower drug costs for consumers here in the United States by proposing in its budget to modify the length of exclusivity on brand name biologics from 12 to 7 years, our trade negotiators are demanding 12 years of data exclusivity from our trading partners, denying their people quicker access to more affordable drugs.
You know, we know in Vietnam, the wage is 28 cents an hour. That's 4% of our currently already low minimum wage. And to think that somehow we can have fair trade with a country that has 28 cents minimum wage, that has violated, the work of their factories has violated safety requirements 8 out of 10 times that they've been inspected, that workers routinely fail to get the minimum 4 days a month of rest. This is not a trade partner that you can have in a trade agreement that's going to at least raise the level for American workers. It can only lower the level. But when you have an agreement like we've seen with past agreements and what we have expect so far to see in the TPP from some of the leaked text, looks again that the interests of global corporations will be ahead of the good of the American worker. There are situations where a foreign-owned business could have more power than our own sovereign courts on issues, and where Buy American policies can be undermined.
This is a treaty that needs to be restarted. Instead of being brought up and finished by the end of the year, we need to restart the effort, have congressional congressional input and do something that will help to make a difference in the lives of the people that we serve.
One of the issues around it has been the secrecy under which it's been negotiated. I actually, some months ago, to show that these are not just partisan concerns, did a bipartisan letter with Darrell Issa requesting that there's more transparency about this process. I've had the opportunity on 3 occasions to review the text in my office. My own staff wasn't allowed to even be there with me. The American people aren't able to execute the proper oversight over something that is of great economic importance to our country because of the secrecy under which this is being negotiated.
We are going to continue this battle, and as far as I'm concerned, I won't speak for you, we're not going to make that end of the year a treaty. There's going to be many, many roadblocks before that occurs.